and you're very welcome to this week's edition of Waterford Report on City Channel Waterford with me, Janice Corrigan. On tonight's programme we'll be visiting Brophy Babies, an exhibition in Waterford City Library, taste a cake from an award-winning bakery, but before that we'll be finding out why people of Waterford are being asked to vote for their county on behalf of Monopoly. Competition is expected to be fierce with space for only 22 of the 32 counties. Voting ends on May 25th. Each person can cast one vote a day. The more votes a county gets, the further up the leaderboard it goes.
The thinking behind it was that a couple of years ago, due to the success of Monopoly Here and Now, where we updated the All-Ireland version to take into consideration factors like the new Spire in Dublin, like the Lewis in Dublin, and we got a number of questions from people around the country asking us why we didn't have an All-Ireland version of Monopoly. So that's the basic reason why we're doing this now. 22 counties will feature on the board, and obviously the first 22 counties in will be the first 22 counties on the board. The way to do it is, and this is very, very important, particularly for people in Waterford, because as the product is being made in Waterford, we want to be up there as a number one. So the process is you log on to www.monopoly.ie. A screenshot comes up and you see a picture of Ireland, and you see the location of your county on the map. Lock onto that, and that in turn then brings up a screenshot to allow you to vote. It asks you to enter your name, it asks you to enter your email address, it asks you to put your age in, we're interested in that, and it also asks you then to give a reason why you consider your county to be the number one county as far as the board is concerned, and then you submit your vote. And on that basis, it's very, very important for most people in Waterford here to get in, as we are All-Ireland League champions in hurling now. It's important that we are the number one county on the game board. We're really surprised at how successful it has been, but I think it's a fantastic idea, and of course all the employees in the factory are very, very much behind it, and they're pushing it as hard as they can. As a matter of fact, we've set up a couple of computers in the plant here where people can actually vote on their break.
Hasbro is well established in Waterford, manufacturing over 100 products, which is credited to highly qualified staff and management.
Well, Hasbro have been here since 1977, and in actual fact we're celebrating our 30th birthday this year, and there's a lot of celebrations going on, and we have a lot of activities going on over the next number of months to celebrate the fact that we're here 30 years. The plant is on 250,000 square feet, and we have over 300 permanent employees, and we peak up to another 100 temporary employees during the high season. We make over 100 different products. For example, we make Monopoly, obviously, we make Trivial Pursuit, we make Game of Life, we make Guess Who, numerous various products that we make, and we also manufacture puzzles here. In total, we produce approximately 12 million products in total, consisting of 11 million games and 1 million puzzles, over 26 different languages, maybe 30 different languages.
Monopoly is produced under the Parker brand at Hasbro's plant in Waterford, where 1.5 million Monopoly boards are shipped throughout Europe every year, but that's not the only game produced.
The next biggest game would be Guess Who, followed by Connect 4, followed by Game of Life, and the whole Trivial Pursuit range is very, very popular. We make a large number of those games. We've modernised games to bring them into the 21st century in actual fact, because we have done a tremendous job on our graphics in this organisation, in the design of the product, and there are factors that we take into consideration when we are designing the product, because if you look at any of our products on the shelf, one of the big points as far as this is the graphic presentation on those, and it's super as far as I'm concerned anyway.
Since its arrival in the market in 1935, over 200 million Monopoly games have been sold across the world, and it's been played by an estimated 500 million people. This level of growth is not expected to be interrupted by the digital era.
It is obviously very difficult to compete in these markets, but the other aspect of it is we've embraced the technological age, because we have a lot of DVD games now, and DVD games are becoming very, very popular, and we have DVD versions of Monopoly, we have DVD versions of Trivial Pursuit, and we have different DVD versions coming out. But the fundamentals of the games, the family value, the play value, all those things are still very, very fundamental. And there is, I won't say a return to it, but have we ever gone away from it? I think it's important that we follow on that,
Welcome back to Waterford Report on City Channel Waterford with me, Janice Corrigan. Catherine Hartery of Edible Dreams is no stranger to receiving awards. She's taken home the silver medal in the Cork Sugarcraft Association's 6th ever competition.
If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down in the woods today, you'd better go in disguise. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day the teddy bears have their picnic.
Catherine Hartery chose to focus her theme on a cake that tells the story of a boy's lifetime reading hobby.
At 6 o'clock their mommies and daddies will take them home to bed, because they're tired little teddy bears. Because they're tired little teddy bears.
I won the silver award down in the Cork Sugarcraft Guild Association. It's held every 2 years in Cork, and people come from all over the country and indeed from England and the continent to enter it. So I was really, really pleased when I won the silver down there. I've won awards in London, I've won awards in Dublin, I've won awards, I've beaten people from the continent, from France and Spain, and the best award I think I won so far was one in London about 4 years ago. I think it's the attention to detail on them and the story behind each cake. I always try and tell a story with the cake. The criteria was a hobby or a sport, and I thought that I'd do a hobby. And then I was thinking I would do it on books, but I wanted to tell a story with it. So I started off with a little boy around the back reading a book, and he was asleep on it. And then it came round to the front of the bookcase, and he was then an old man, and he was asleep in his armchair with the books on his lap. And the little boy around the back had a teddy bear beside him. And then later on in life, the teddy bear is up on top of the bookcase, covered in dust. So it told a story, and then I called it a lifetime hobby.
Edible Dreams supplies cakes throughout Ireland as well as Marbella in France, St Lucia and America, and caters for all occasions.
I cater for weddings, and I cater for birthdays, christenings, anniversaries, retirement dues, all different sorts of things. When a wedding couple ring up, they come for a consultation and they can taste the cakes that they're going to actually eat on the day. And then they talk to me, about their likes and dislikes, and sometimes I can incorporate a personal touch to do with them if they're, if they were really into, the GAA or something, and they want themselves dressed in, maybe their Waterford colours on top or Kilkenny colours or whatever. I can do all things like that. At the moment, what's very much in season is communions and confirmations, and I'm doing cakes with chalice and hosts on, and Bibles and doves and things like that. And what is also very popular at the moment is cakes, they're photo cakes, where somebody will come in and they'll have a picture and I can transfer it onto a cake. For christening cakes, you could have a little baby in a bed, or you could have 4 bears on an armchair. Anything goes for christening, and we cater for all sorts of children's favourite characters. We do, Winnie Piglet, ER in bed, Spider-Man, Batman, just everything, anything that your child would like. What's very popular at the moment is Fifi, the little flower pot girl.
In this highly specialised field, Catherine Hartery's experience shines through in her work.
I've been cake decorating now for over 20 years, and I have to say that I really, really love it. There's such job satisfaction at the end, especially when the customers come in and they see what you've made for them and they just can't believe it. Everything is handmade and edible, and down to even little arms on characters, and their fingers and their fingernails and things like that. And also, we cater for adults too. We do things like, your favourite sport, like a golfer in a bunker. the golfer's actually stuck down in the bunker, and he's all handmade and edible too. We also do things like, you know, for a little girl, we do princess cakes. We'd have a little carriage and the prince and the princess on there. And we do cakes for, you know, all sorts of retirements, anniversaries, birthdays, just all sorts of things. I just get so much pleasure out of making the cakes, and it gives me so much pleasure from the customers when they come in and are so happy with their creation.
Catherine had been based in Ballybricken for many years, but Edible Dreams has now changed location to Dye House Lane across from the Glen.
Well, I was up in Ballybricken for 7 years and I absolutely loved it up there. You know, everybody around in the surrounding shops, they're really, really lovely, and they've been so helpful to me. And I had a great customer base up there, and I'm hoping that my customers will follow me down to 3 Dye House Lane now. It's still in the city centre and very much part of Waterford.